Katie here from the Scrappy Sisters, and I'm up today with another exciting video for Mixed Media Frenzy. And today it's extra exciting because it is the first time we are doing a bigger Mixed Media Frenzy hop. So there is a Mixed Media Facebook group now, Mixed Media Frenzy Facebook group, which I will link down below. And as part of that Facebook group, we are now doing a monthly hop where anyone can join in if they want to make layouts with mixed media and have fun and all play along together, and there's a theme every month. So this month the theme was Hocus Pocus, I think, Halloween. We don't really celebrate Halloween in Australia, so I wasn't going to participate, but then I realised I had some photos of a band related event where we actually did a Halloween theme concert. So we played and we were all dressed up, as you can sort of see in the top right there, in Halloween outfits, which was a heap of fun. So because it's Mixed Media Frenzy, the mixed media that I'm doing didn't work out exactly how I'd planned, probably because I'm on black cardstock, but I am using Distress Oxides, and I've used Spice Marmalade, Fossilized Amber, I think, and the Black Soot. Is that what it's called? I think that's what I used. But what I found was the Fossilized Amber and the Spice Marmalade, when I put it on black cardstock, looked exactly the same. You can't tell the difference at all. So I then just stopped using both of them and stuck with one. I think it was a Fossilized Amber, but the colour, honestly, it looks the same. It's just a kind of yellowish wash of colour in the background. And then to add a bit of shimmer, I went over the top with Vicky Bouton's Iridescent Glaze. And once it's dried, it looks kind of full on in the video, but I promise you once it's dried, it just looks like shimmer on top of the Distress Oxide blending. And I'm just adding a little bit extra in the bottom sort of right corner because I know I'm going to do a little cluster over there. So again, I know this looks a bit weird, but you will have seen from the thumbnail what the final layout looked like anyway. But I knew that I was sort of wanted to use some pattern papers, and where I've put that mixed media is where I sort of wanted the pattern paper and, you know, the mixed media to blend. And so that's why it's kind of in a strip and not covering the whole page. So I'm adding some, I can't remember what brand this is, but it's an orange mist. It's like a chalk based mist, so it's not as vibrant as the other mists are when it dries, particularly on the black cardstock directly. It's not super vibrant, so I probably should have chosen something else, but I don't think I've got orange in anything else, and I wanted the orange there, sort of Halloween-esque. So that's the mixed media background done. I think I was going to dry it with my heat tool, but I end up not really needing to. I just go straight in with the rest of the layout because, yeah, I just tried to be careful. It was a very thin layer of Vicky Bouton's Iridescent Glaze, so I knew that it would dry quite quickly. Now, I've done a whole heap of fussy cutting, and these papers are actually from Stampin' Up. They're a year old. You can't get them anymore, I don't think. And I don't have very much of this collection. I sort of shared it with a few friends, and so I only have sort of half of the pages, like a half sheet of all of the pages. And so I was trying to use as much of it up as I could because, as I said, we don't celebrate Halloween. So I knew that I wouldn't really get much else, kind of much of an opportunity to use this collection. So I wanted to get as much of it on the page as I could. And there is a little bit of paper left, but not a hell of a lot. So I've kind of picked the really, well, they're all Halloween themed papers, but I picked the kind of darker ones for the background just to stick with that theme. So I've got the white and orange bats as my kind of paper that's going kind of at the back, and then over the top is cobweb paper, which I really like actually. And I've ripped the edges because I think that kind of works for this layout. And then I've got my photo, which I'm going to back in a couple of the other papers. Those book ones are pretty full on, but I do end up using that paper, I think, because I wanted the colours. I didn't want the I wanted the bright colours, I suppose. Well, when I say bright, the oranges, reds and yellows. So I ended up using that one. I didn't have enough of the... Anyway, I liked the yellow paper that you can see is the reverse of the first paper I backed the photo in, but I didn't have enough to do 2 lots in that because the photo is 4x6 and I didn't cut it down. So that's it. I've done my backing. Now I have, as I said, fussy cut a whole heap of elements to use as embellishments. So I'm going to play around with those. One of the papers had like frames with, you know, spooky pictures in them. So I fussy cut a whole heap of those out, and I end up trying to get quite a few of those onto the layout. And I knew I wanted to do 3 clusters. I was just kind of playing around with how I wanted all of those to look. And one of the other papers had a whole heap of like bottles, I suppose you'd call them, almost like, you know, the the crazy scientist vibe, where you've got things in bottles, and they were playing on the kind of scrapbook card making theme, because quite a few of them have things like scrap of book, and one of them has stock of card and the other one has ink. So I made sure I cut out a few of those that were in reference to kind of scrapbooking and papercraft, because I just thought they were funny. I don't think anyone will look that closely, but I know they're there. So I'm creating 3 clusters, as you can see, just layering up the frames, and I'm just trying to get them into an order that I like, or not an order, but a cluster that I like, an arrangement that I like. So there's some kind of larger size frames, smaller frames, and obviously the colours and whatnot. I just wanted to make sure that I had kind of spread all of those around a little bit. So I'm super happy with how it's all looking, and you can see I'm starting to stick things down. I have also included a little Charms Creations star in the bottom right hand side. So that's a local, an Australian mum who has a little side business creating these cute little felt and fabric charms, I guess we call them. And I've got a few sitting here that I've had for a really long time, and I'm just starting to get them on my layouts now. So they're sort of sitting on my desk in a little kind of space where I'm trying to use up a few bits and pieces. So let me just get back to what I'm doing. I do have a little tub, as I said. It's kind of I really want to use this up stash. So I might show you guys in a video one day how I sort of keep that stuff on my desk as a little reminder to try and get onto layouts when I can. So I'm sticking everything down, I'm committing, I'm sticking all my frames down. I've popped a couple of them up on some foam, and now I'm coming in with the little jars. I just need to hold down the fabric little star there, because he does take a little while to stick. I just used my Tombow mono glue, which obviously also takes a little bit of time to dry as well. That's the point of that glue. It's kind of a little bit more repositionable than the Tombow, the white one. I can't remember what that version is called, but the aqua one is a little bit more kind of, you've got a little bit more wiggle room, so it takes a little bit longer to dry. But it dries just as kind of strong as the white version. So yeah, just FYI, I prefer the aqua one myself. But each to their own. I know there's a lot of people who love the white Tombow as well. So I'm just sticking down those little jars that I fussy cut out, and I am using dimensionals for those, and I'm popping them all up. So I am just adding 3, I think, to each cluster, and just sort of, as I said, trying to spread them out, filling in some gaps, just, trying to get everything on the page. As I said, this was sort of a little bit of a Stampin' Up collection that I had, and I don't have any other Halloween supplies. We don't celebrate Halloween, so I wanted to use up as much of it as I could. So I had these little enamel shapes, and I wanted to make sure that I got all of those onto the page, because, as I said, I don't want them hanging around. So there's some birds and skull and crossbones and something else, what do you call it? Grave marker, what's it called? Anyway, those and some enamel dots. So I've got all of those on the page, and then I realised that I forgot a title. So I was just thinking to myself, what am I going to do to finish this off? I was umming and ahhing, and I thought maybe I don't need a title. So I sat on it for a bit, and I pulled out my orange Nouveau Drops. I don't know the actual colour, but they're an orange. And I'm just adding in some Nouveau Drops. Even though I added in the enamel dots, I just wanted a bit more of a pop of orange in each of the clusters. So I've done that. And then I'm coming back in now with the title. But I just, over in my thicker stash. That's why I'm out of camera. Pulling out the oh no, I do this first, sorry. I knew that I was going to add a title, but I knew I wanted to come in with some white splatters. So I get out my Liquitex and my fan brush and I just go nuts with the white splatters. Again, I just wanted to add a little something extra. And I really like the white splatters with the Liquitex. It really is lovely. I think I might get a couple of other Liquitex, but not until I've used up a few of my mists. I don't need any right now, but I've got 2 Liquitex and they really are lovely. They really are. So I'm glad Jess got them for me for Christmas last year. They haven't had a heap of use, but they have had a little bit of use and I'm enjoying kind of having to play around with them. And now I am pulling out my thickers and I do pull out some small ones from Paige Evans. They're kind of my favourite, my go-to thickers. I often use these and I'm spelling out the title Spooky Fun. So I just decided to keep it simple with my title. It's small. I wanted white to sort of stick with the theme, but I also wanted it to be not too overpowering. So yeah, that's what I'm done as soon as I stick this down. Spooky Fun. So I will show you a close-up and we are all finished. Make sure you check out the links. There's a lot of people playing along in this hop. My video is probably going to go up a little late, so I am sorry about that. But everybody will still be linked down below and you can get your Halloween inspiration by checking out all the links. The Mixed Media Frenzy Facebook group will be linked down below as well. I hope you're having a wonderful day and we look forward to seeing you in the next video. All right, guys. Thanks. Bye.